Time for our week in review. This is a great week. We started off with our food drive in support of the Houston Food Bank. We asked for you guys to donate canned foods, non-perishables, things like that, and you did so. And we thank you very much. We're able to deliver a whole truck bed load to the Houston Food Bank. Michael and I went down there on Wednesday to deliver it. That is a monster operation. I was blown away. Last year they served 83 million meals. This year they'll probably serve 100 million. So it's a tremendous thing we did, and we look forward to doing it again in the future. Be on the lookout for our Toys for Tot drive over Christmas time, okay? We put out a series of posts on Facebook, social media, blog, things like that on financial preparedness for emergencies, what to do. Well, we think there's 4 key things. There might be a few more if you Google some things out there. 4 key ones. Number 1, review your insurance, property and casualty, flood insurance, things like that with a professional. And don't review it from a how do I save as much money possible standpoint. That's what most people want to do. How do I save as much money as possible? Remember, if something happens, you might really regret that $500 you saved over the last year when you find out you have a 4% deductible on your homeowner's policy, okay? Review it from this standpoint. If such and such happens, what would I expect to pay out of pocket to cover that expense? How much of it will you cover? Flood insurance. If you buy the biggest flood insurance there is, it'll cover $250,000 of property and $100,000 or structure, $250,000 of structure, $100,000 of property. I don't know, you need to know if that's enough. In a lot of cases it may not. And then there's excess flood insurance you can purchase. So, do that. Review those policies with a good professional. If you don't have one, we know of several. So let us know and we can point you in the right direction. But having that peace of mind, knowing that everything's been reviewed when you're in the throes of a hurricane or a flood, it's very helpful. Number 2, an emergency fund. You need it. We preach it all the time. 3 to 6 months of expenses, having a savings account, okay? That's a big key to financial preparedness for an emergency. Number 3, you need cash, okay? You need cash that's not in the bank account when an emergency happens. If we're out of power, you can't swipe the debit card to purchase your gas, if it's even available. You can't do that at the grocery store. If you have cash, you can make those purchases. I like to keep $500 to $1,000 available for that. Of course, for hurricanes coming in, you can withdraw that from the ATM a few days before. But why not just keep it in a safe place in the home? Most of you probably have a safe. Just keep it in there. Don't put it on the ground floor, okay, because it could flood. Keep it at the higher levels of the safe. Finally, important documents. From a financial standpoint, the most important documents you can have, of course, are your estate documents. But I like to keep in a fire, somewhat waterproof case my estate plan, passports, Social Security cards, marriage certificate, any document that is important to me financially. And if you want to know what those documents are, just give us a call, we can tell you. Have them in a place where you can grab it and go, okay? That's protected from fire. A filing cabinet. One of those metal filing cabinets is great, and it's probably very organized, but you can't grab that and go, all right? When we were evacuated out of Siena, where I live, in Siena Plantation, they didn't give us a lot of time. Basically, you had about 10-20 minutes to get your stuff together and get gone. If you got to open up the filing cabinet and start pulling things out that you may want to keep, you're going to spend all your time doing that. You won't be able to spend any time getting those pictures and things like that upstairs in case there's a flood. Take that from me, in my experience. Fortunately, we did not flood, but it's very important that you have something you can grab and go. Okay? Have a great week. See you next week.